So, 10 mobile photography tips and tricks. Let's go.
Okay, number one. Was it, Andrew?
Grid. Grid, very important if you know how to use it correctly. There's a video overlay that's going on right now. I don't know if you can see this right here. There's a grid right there. It's called the rule of thirds grids. Well, you use this usually to like calculate where the person you want to be or what type of photography, like where's the mountains or something, where's the trees you want to be or something like that. You can determine with these lines, which helps you a lot.
What is number two?
Number two is your Pro mode.
Oh, Pro mode.
Yes, your Pro mode is very important in your phone. If you don't know how to use it, I recommend using Auto, and I'll show that in another video with the Pro mode, that explaining the shutter, ISO, and autofocus and everything. Especially this one. This one has like a balanced optical image stabilization, and there's a circle that moves around when the microphone.
Wait. Is it only for Huawei phone?
Well, if the optical image stabilization, it's a lot of phone has that now, but for the like lines like this, I think it's currently exclusive for the Huawei phone right now. So yeah, and the ISO and the shutter and everything, I'll go more in depth in another video, but I'll explain a quick one right now. ISO is to get like sensitivity of like your light that's going in, and the shutter is if your shutter count, like for example 1 times 1 per 100, or compare that to 1 per 1000. So the bigger the number, the faster will the camera capture that picture. So
yeah,
if you're capturing someone horse riding, and you need to use actually the shutter to be at least 1000, because if you use a low shutter count, the image will get blurry, as I'll see you right now, like in the screen as you're seeing, that will get blurry. And your autofocus, it depends. If you like continuous, go with continuous. If you prefer manual, go manual. If you like just every single shot is just you need to focus, go with it. If your phone supports eye autofocus, which is impossible.
It's
I don't
not.
know if well, my Sony camera supports Sony eye autofocus, which helps a lot. It focuses right on the eye, so you don't have to worry about
eye tracking, right?
Yeah, it's eye tracking, so you don't worry about everything. The third one is our video. For video.
Oh, for video.
Actually, no. Yes, actually, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
For video.
Yes, for video. Even though this is a mobile photography, but video is very important in your phone. If you want to make a video, but you don't have a high resolution camera. Like for example, like this, the camera that I'm using right now is actually the Sony A9.
Oh.
That's actually the best Sony camera in the market right now.
Yes.
And it can shoot up to 4K, 30 FPS, 100 megabits, and your phone can also shoot 4K. But even though it's not as good as that, it's a start. It's better than.
Yeah.
It's better than buying a, I don't know.
Wait, it's 4K, right?
Yeah, it's 4K.
Both of them is 4K, but why it's different? The quality, why?
Because the sensor of your phone is it's much more tiny than the sensor on that camera.
Yeah.
The sensor on that camera is at least 5 times bigger as this. So this here, don't think of it like if your phone can shoot 4K, you're gonna use this all the time. You're not gonna use this all the time.
Yeah.
You're gonna, at some point you're gonna need to upgrade. You're gonna need to get that little bit of step up. That's why it is a start recording a video.
Yes.
But I wouldn't recommend using your whole life with this.
Yeah, no, of course not.
It's just a bump of a start.
Like so many people like, oh, my phone is 4K, so you can defeat like a big camera like Rat or Sony.
Well,
but it's not.
No, it's
not the same quality.
It's not the same quality. I'll show you a video right now in screen. The difference between 4K on the phone and 4K on camera.
Yeah.
And I think that's part 3. A simple note for a video.
Yeah. And the part 4, what is it?
Part 4 is this.
Oh yeah.
This
Be creative.
is called a prism.
A prism.
There's 2 types. This one is the triangle one. That's the
What is this?
diamond prism.
Diamond one.
You can also get one of these, which is a teardrop prism. I'll show you right now.
So this is the prism. What is it?
That's a triangle prism.
Triangle and
that's
diamond.
a diamond. There's also this. So I'll show you guys right now. It's a teardrop right here.
A teardrop.
I'll grab a test shot right now if you want me to. Usually, what you do if you have one of these, you point these at near your camera, so you get some kind of a reflection. So let me try that. That's one of the examples. That can also get one of these.
What is that? Oh,
A lens ball.
a lens ball. It's
You
really
can-
good for mobile.
Yeah, you can hold this and you can use this and you're try to focus on the lens and the lens ball, and then take a picture of it, and the image will appear kind of upside down, so you have to rotate everything. But
yeah.
there is a bigger lens ball than this. If you want to be, if you don't consider this one size, because this is a smaller size that I buy. If you want a bigger size, buy much more bigger one, and you get like much greater quality of photos. But it definitely helps with your phone a lot, and especially the diamond one. If you reflect that with some kind of lights or sun or anything like that, it will work.
Okay, today's sponsored by Prism Glass.
No. It's not.
But you can buy one from here, right?
You can buy one. You can buy one from this. It's called
Prism
Prism Glass
Glass,
_
yeah.
ID. That's on Tokopedia or somewhere along those lines. You can.
If you live
find
in
those.
Indonesia, though.
Yeah, if you live in Indonesia. If you're not, I'm sorry, can't help you. But I don't know. Maybe you can buy on Amazon or eBay. I don't know. Depends
Yeah.
on you.
Okay, what is it? Fifth, right? A fifth.
Ooh, the fifth one. This is gonna be interesting. Night mode.
Oh, yeah.
Using night mode on your phone helps a lot.
Helps a lot. Yeah.
I'll show you some pictures that I took with night mode that aren't even at night, and it helps with the darkness of the photos. So you can get a photo that's completely dark, and then suddenly use the night mode. There's some kind of light to this. There's some kind of software or AI that they did to this thing. I'm talking specifically on this phone. The Huawei Mate 20 Pro. If you want.
Yes.
They did some. I don't know what they did in the software, but it just makes the photo much more good quality and beautiful. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if your phone doesn't have night mode, try download Google Camera on the Play Store. You can download that. You can download Google's application Camera. That also helps. If there's I don't know if there's a night mode. Maybe there is. If not, I'm sorry. I don't know. But if your phone has a night
So
mode,
many people
use
talk
it.
about this mod, right?
Yep. Yeah, there's so many people.
It's amazing.
A lot of people talk about this mode. And there's a difference between using the mode and don't using the mode. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, you know what I mean.
It depends on the situation and the light, you know.
Yes, of course. So that's number what? 5?
Fifth. Oh yeah, five. Yeah.
That's number 5.
After this, 6.
6. Number 6 is your resolution. This is what this is what I say.
No one cares about this. Yeah. Just take a picture or take a videos and then done.
Don't think of this is a lesson for all of you. Don't think of more megapixels, the better the camera is. Don't think of it that.
it's not.
That's the way I used to think it back in the day. But it's not like that. It's
Yeah.
If you have a phone camera, this camera can go up to 40 megapixels, but mind you, the sensor is small. Sensors do play a lot of factor in taking photos. If
Yes.
your sensor is small, your photos are not really gonna be as good as quality as the sensors that are much more bigger than this kind of tiny thing on the phone. Well, even though it's a 40 megapixel, here's a lesson: the higher megapixel, the higher noise count it is.
Yes.
So if you were shooting in the dark and you're shooting at 40 megapixels, then more noise is gonna be. I'm gonna show you a picture right now. What noise is? It's some kind of tiny little kind of ants or something we would call it. If you're shooting at night, I recommend shooting at a lower megapixel, or maybe at day you don't want to have a lot of noise. You can choose it as a smaller megapixel. Yeah, that also works. It depends upon the person who's taking the picture, which I don't judge. If you want to take 40 megapixels in the dark, well,
We don't judge. But
yes,
just recommend, you know. We just recommend a thing.
we just recommend.
Yes.
Number 7, if you're using a type of phone like iPhone or some type of phone that has portrait mode or aperture mode, I would rather you stay away from those, because
Of course.
if you
That's
use one of
ridiculous.
those, the effects of bokeh, I'll show you a picture of what bokeh is right now if you don't know.
Okay.
It's so robotic. It's so
Yeah.
it's so humanly, or it's so computerizedly made. So the people that look at it will like, is this like a real bokeh, or you're just like editing out with a blur, you know? And you're probably like, it's with my camera mode. Don't use that.
Especially in the low light, right?
Yes, don't
It's
use
so
that.
gross.
Yeah, I'll show you pictures that is. Some type of phone can do this with a good quality. I'm even shocked that this came out of a camera. I'll show you a picture right now. But not some phones, but a lot of phones do suck at aperture or portrait mode because of that factor.
The example is iPhone X.
Yes, iPhone 10.
iPhone X or 10.
Well,
Whatever
the 10s Max and the 10s does better at those. Which, if you were gonna buy either the iPhone 10 or 10s Max or 10s, I recommend the 10s Max or 10s. I wouldn't recommend buying the 10, even though it's cheaper now. But the camera is not really good. If you're not really factoring into those aperture mode, just buy the 10. But if you're factoring that you want to use the aperture mode, buy the 10s or 10s Max.
But I think you should recommend this one. So.
I would recommend you buying this.
Huawei, right?
Not Huawei, I'm waiting for you. This is not sponsored.
This is not sponsored.
It has 3 cameras, has an in-screen fingerprint scanner, 4,200 milliamp hour battery, and it has Huawei 40-watt charger. So it charges 70% in 30 minutes. I am not sponsored.
It's like you put iOS in Huawei body, right?
It's like you put iOS on Android, and this is what happens. Because they have a notch and everything. I mean, it does have a notch because of the factor of the Face ID, which helps unlock and make your life conveniently easier.
Not sponsored, by the way. It's not.
No, it's not sponsored. Just
Okay, what number is it?
Number 8.
Number 8.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
Can't
number
keep
8.
track, but yeah.
Number 8.
Number 8 is don't use flash.
Never
ever use flash on your phone.
Yeah.
Because I'll show you right now what happens if I turn on flash. Like, I'll show you the picture what happens to it. I'll put it on the screen right now. The difference of using the flash and not using the flash, which I'm gonna show you.
Look at the background though. It's so
the difference you can see on the screen right now is that if you're using a flash on a phone, it's much more in your face. Like it's much more like not really soft or anything. It's much more hard looking. If you're using like a diffuser, which highly unlike, why would you use a diffuser? On a flash? You're not able to use a diffuser on this tiny flash. I mean, if you don't know what a diffuser is, basically some kind of materialized layer in front of your light that softens the light. So we are using the Aputure 300D right now to shoot this video with a softbox.
Yeah, if you don't know what a softbox is, you will put it right.
Oh yeah, I'll put it up with the picture if you don't know. Don't worry about it, you guys. The softbox is basically makes your light looks softer, but not harder. This our face, if you can see right now, the light we're using
not
soft light.
Harsh, right?
If we're using a hard light, our background will be much more hard and much more clarity looking like that. I mean, that's why I don't recommend using a flash in a phone. If you have a DSLR, don't use the built-in flash. Never use the built-in flash because it's still direction. If you use an external flash, you can angle it backwards. I recommend if you take a picture right now, like forward like me, for example, I'm shooting at you people that is watching right now. I don't just put the flash up there and just bounce it out. I just like attack you. I usually put it upwards or backwards, so you need to bounce the flash up and just goes through the person or the thing you want to take a photo at to make the light more even to all the subjects or all the stuff in your picture you want to take. That's what.
But I think, Drew.
Yeah.
I think we should recommend your subscriber continuous lightning, right?
Yes.
Because
if you're really big in photography, just buy flash. If you're not really big on photography, like you're more into video, buy continuous light. But I wouldn't recommend buying this big. This will be heavy and hard to build. I mean, hard to like carry anywhere. I'll recommend this is like more of a studio light or a home light. But if you can't decide which ones yet, I recommend don't buy them yet. Which ones are you more interested in? Like if your friend has a flash for your camera, not in your phone, by the way, I'm talking about a DSLR or mirrorless. If you have a camera, if your friend has a camera and he has a flash, borrow it, try it, ask for him, like learn from him, like make him like teach you to make you understand what is the flash concept, what's the rule and everything. I mean, just make them do that, and if you already learn from a guy that knows well about flash and camera, you'll probably have a good more chance of deciding which ones you want to buy. Either if flash or continuous flash. I mean, I have both of them, but usually I use the big one. But I rarely use my flash now because
me too.
It's just for photography, and this limits it. If you use continuous light, you can use for photography and videography, which helps with the flexibility, but it comes with a cost. You can't carry this anywhere. I'll show you what it looks. I'll show you what it looks like right now. It's not gonna be what you think it is. It's gonna be small. No.
But there's a small one, right?
There is a small one, but even though it's small, it's still big.
Still big, yeah.
This is the Aputure 300D. It's pretty big. Just heavy.
But
you can't carry that anywhere. So you have to decide: you want to sacrifice mobility for flexibility, or you want to sacrifice flexibility for mobility. Which one do you want?
Yeah.
In that case, which one do you want? The flash or the continuous flight?
Yeah.
That's for number something. I forgot.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the price. So many people like, oh, that's so expensive. Is it worth it? So many people like, oh, it's so expensive. The lens, like, or the lighting, everything. What do you think is worth it?
Some people will not agree, but yes, it is worth it.
Yeah, it's really worth it.
Believe it or not, you're probably thinking I'm using I don't know, 24 millimeter. Wait, no, not 24. Maybe a 50 mil. No. I'm using an 85 mil to record. That camera is far away than you think you would know. That's what I have right now, the 85 millimeter G Master. But I have three lenses: the 70 to 200 G Master, there's the 85 millimeter G Master, and the 24 to 70 G Master. And I also have the 24 to 70 Zeiss. That sounds a lot, but trust me, you're gonna need a lot more lessons than that.
Yes.
But I think for what I have right now, that's enough, because all I do is portrait photography. So sometimes I like to take wide angle shots or sports. That's why I think my lens right now is enough. I don't really need too much right now. And if you're planning to buy, I recommend don't buy the expensive one first.
Yeah.
Buy the cheap one first. Like if you like or maybe if the store allows you to like use it without you buying, you can try it out as you wish. Like if you prefer the 85, you can and you try it, you like it, and you can just buy that. Don't ever buy a lens that you never try.
Never.
Like you never research anything about it and just buy it. Maybe you don't end up liking it, especially if it is a fixed lens. You can't zoom in on that. With like zoom lens, you're much more flexible, but if you're using a fixed lens, even though it puts out a greater high quality of video or photo, but it comes with a fixed lens. So instead of the camera moving for you, you have to move for the camera. So instead of you zooming in and out, instead of the camera zooming in for you, you have to zoom in for the camera. So you have to physically move around to get that shot that you wanted.
Yeah.
Alright, this is gonna be interesting. HDR.
I don't know about that.
If you don't
Never
know
use
what
that. Explain to me.
If you don't know what HDR is, it basically means high dynamic range. It basically means if you capture a photo with your phone, like the background is in your face bright, that's because the phone tries to keep your face bright, but at the same time it over brightens the background. Well, if you use HDR, the face is bright and the background could be just normal, not too bright, not too dark, so it's just perfect. So that's what HDR does. Samsung's phone struggles with this mode. Like HDR mode is not really working well on that phone, especially the iPhone one. Well, in this one, I would say it's just fine. I would say it's great, but it's you get what you get for an HDR in a phone. If you really wanted the background to be just perfect and the face to be perfect, you need a camera for that. So you need to underexpose the subject and expose the background, and when you're putting into editing, you have to bump up the ISO or the highlights or something like that to increase the brightness of your subject, and at the same time try to edit the background and minus the exposure down. If you don't know what I'm saying, I'm sorry. Another tutorial will be coming soon if you don't know what it's like. And also, that's number 9, right?
Maybe we will make a video about editing.
Yeah, maybe I'll make a video about editing
in mobile.
Yes, in mobile. Yes. At number 10, this is the most important part. Don't ever use filters.
Oh, that's what I was
That's
gonna
the,
say. Yeah.
that's the warning. Don't ever
Don't
use filters.
ever.
If you use Visco or I don't know, what's it called? PixArt? Is it?
PixArt, yeah.
PixArt. Most people use that and they use the filter and they just post it on Instagram. Don't use it. It's such key. You can instantly. I mean, I can instantly know that if a person use a filter because they don't change it at all. I might misjudge a person.
I mean, it's okay if they want to use a filter, right?
Yeah, if I'm judging a person like looking at his photo and if his style is like a filter, then okay, I won't judge. But if you're using a filter, then you're missing out. You need to like make your own editing style or something.
Yeah.
Don't ever use filters. Just
Be
I don't
creative,
know.
you
Be
know?
creative. Experiment with it.
Experiment.
What is highlights? What is exposure? What is the light? What's the darkness? And what's the color blend modes and everything like that. That's a lot of things to go through.
There's a lot of things, yeah.
Possibilities are endless, and I think that's for now. Just don't have
High
even though I already told you the
expectations.
tips and tricks, don't have high expectations that this is gonna boost up your photo instantly. No. You have to learn a lot more than that. You have to like research a lot of stuff on the internet and stuff regarding of like the position and everything. And basically, I can't explain you everything because it will be an hour or more.
5 hours maybe,
Like,
yeah.
you have to explain everything, the reasons behind it, the reason why I do this, the reason why I do that, and blah, blah, blah. People have different opinions, and I think that's it.